Welcome. Welcome to the preliminary course for Iyengar Yoga. This is lesson 1. Starting in Samasthiti, feet together, hands down by the side. Samasthiti is also known as Tadasana, the mountain pose. Now, although this might seem like a simple pose, it's actually a place where we can start to find the defects in the body. So here, just bring the navel back towards the spine as you lift the crest of the hips up, descending the tailbone down. Start from the feet. Bring both the feet together, so big toes touching, ankles touching, having 4 corners of the feet pressing down evenly into the floor. Kneecaps lifted, descending the buttock bones down as you lift the hips up, the sternum lifted, the crown of the head ascending up towards the ceiling. So the more time we spend in Tadasana, the more that we can find out where we need to align ourselves. So we can always come back to the mountain pose. So lifting the sternum up, that's it. Use the breath. Inhale through the nose, exhale out through the nose. And back. And have a little bit of, as if you've got some, like you're about to almost take off, so like with your wings. So imagine you're having this space underneath the armpit and extending the fingers. And then I'm going to raise the arms up into Urdhva Hastasana. Extend the fingers up. Release the shoulder blades down and into the body. As you extend your fingers up towards the ceiling, ground the feet down. And as you extend up through the fingers, imagine like your whole consciousness is extending through the fingers. So the physical layer, the mental layer, the emotional level, spiritual level, we're extending all of our consciousness through these fingers, through all our being. So rotating the shoulders. And if you've got shoulder problems, you might want to come forward like this. A little bit more, and then vertically ascend up if you haven't got that shoulder injury. Locking the elbows, extend the thumbs back. All the while bringing the navel back and then releasing down. So before I mentioned about having with the shoulders, if it's a shoulder injury or a neck injury, so rather than going all the way up, just come forward here. Working here is just as good. And then when you're ready, you can keep coming back. So one more time. Pressing the feet down into the floor. Inhale, raise the arms up. Ujjayi breathing. In through the nose, out through the nose. So it's audible to self. And then take the arms down. Shake it up. Okay. And then now we're moving into Urdhva Balanguliasana, which is basically a way to say interlocking of the fingers. So make sure you can see which finger goes in front first, so you can remember the interlock, because we'll be changing the interlock. And so inhale, raise the arms up. Urdhva Balanguliasana. Remember to keep drawing those ribs back, hips are lifted. Bring the rear cage back, descending the tailbone down as you're pressing the feet into the floor. Use the legs to give you the lift up. Navel back, that's it. And then releasing back down, and then remembering which way you have with your interlock, changing the interlock. Inhale, raise the arms. Bring space into the shoulders. So you're externally rotating the upper arm. Again, if you're feeling that restriction in the shoulders, just come forward a little bit. So you can lock the elbows. If you can, come up to the vertical extension. Drawing the shoulder blades back down into the body. And then release on an exhale. Standing in Tadasana, Samasthiti. Bring the hands now into prayer pose. So again, drawing the shoulder blades back down the body. Pressing the palms evenly into one another. Catch the breath. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. And then bring the hands down by the sides. Inhale once more into Urdhva Hastasana. And then bring the hands into prayer pose again, Urdhva Namaskarasana. Look up to the thumbs. See that you can, if you can't, again, the shoulders, the neck, you've got issues, come forward a little bit, otherwise, look up. Extend those fingers. Extend your consciousness. Bring in all levels of your being. Keep those feet pressing into the floor. The four corners of the feet are your base. And then on an exhale, bring hands down, back to Samasthiti. Okay, so now we're going to move into Utthita Hasta Padasana, and we're bringing the hands across the chest, and then we're going to be jumping out wide. So I'll just demonstrate. It's about 4 foot, so your natural jump. So yeah, practice a few times. Come back in, inhale, jump. Do it 10 times. Come back in. So when you finish, have your feet, so the edges of your feet are parallel with the edges of the mat. We're setting ourselves up for our next sequencing of asanas. So I think I'll just get you to, when you do the jump, come out so that the mat here, keep going, up to 5 or 6. Here, so you want to have this, so rather than that, you want to have it here, so that this edge of the foot is in line with the mat. That's it. Yep. Okay, yep. Keep going. Yep. Okay, so one more time. Inhale. Staying here. So extend the fingers out. Use the work that we've done before. Extending those fingers out to the side. And here, we want to work here. So imagine you as if you're pressing down on something. Again, we've got to work from the base all the way up. So let's start and have a look at your feet. Everybody have a look at your feet. Ravana, you can extend your heels out more so the toes are pointing in. That's good, Malasinka. Just a little bit more with the heels out. That's it. Now, as you're pressing evenly through the feet, and if your arms are sort of got shoulder problems, bring your hands onto your elbows. If you don't have problems with your shoulders, that's it. You can keep doing it again. You've got that's imaginary weight. So press down onto me, yes. But rather than bouncing, just press. That's it, press. So opening up the chest, bringing this rib cage, lifting, so it's navel back as you're lifting the crest of the hips up. That's it. Okay, and then coming back and jumping back into Tadasana. So this is the starting position to then, the next what we're going to be doing is Pajva, Hastasana, Padasana. So here we're moving the foot out to the side. So see what I did then is I extended the left foot away, and then the right foot is being turned out here. So this is Hastasana, Padasana. So again, from here, extend the left heel out, bringing the toes in, and then turn the right foot out. Extend the fingers. Look over the right shoulder. Extend back down through the left heel as you look over the right shoulder. Keep bringing the navel back. That's it. And imagine that you have got a line going from your right foot back to the inner arch of the left heel. So Fable, if you can bring your foot a little bit more into the centre so that I can draw a line all the way from here to here. Yep. Okay. And now we'll change to the other side. So come back to the middle. And then, well, Tadasana is good, but if you haven't jumped, turn to here. And it's it's 4 foot. So again, check, have a look down. Is your heel in line with your inner arch of your back foot? Look over the left hand. Keep drawing that navel back, drawing the shoulder blades down. Crown of the head is descended up towards the ceiling. And then bring the hands onto the hips. Bring the feet towards the front, and then jump the feet back together. Come to Tadasana again, catching your breath. Okay, so we're going to be going forward into Trikonasana from where we were before. So I'll just demonstrate jumping the feet wide, extending this left foot out, right foot being turned out. So it's the whole leg is moving towards the right side. So coming into Trikonasana, which is triangle pose. So extending all the way towards the side wall, bring the hand down towards the ankle. If you're able, bring the top arm up, rotating the rib cage up towards the ceiling, or bring the hand onto the hip here. Breathing. Remember, working from the base all the way up as support, while you're revolving this rib cage all the way around, looking up. If you've got a neck problem, you can look down wherever it feels comfortable. Okay, so to come up, inhale, and then we'll swap and change to the other side. So, together, inhale, bring the hands across the chest, jump the feet wide, turn the right foot out, the left heel out, look towards the right side wall, extend the fingers all the way towards the side wall, bring the hands down to the ankle, hands on the hip, the left hand on the hip, or top arm up. So here in Trikonasana, again, we want to have the same thing with having the left heel extended out. So the toes, we want to have them coming a little bit more in. So the heel, I want to move out, yes, and bringing his navel back. Keep breathing in through the nose, out through the nose, evolving this rib cage up towards the ceiling. Use the top arm to help you lift up. Three more breaths. Okay, so extend through the fingers, that's it. Hold this rib cage. So you want to be able to descend this right bone down. Yep. Is that 3 breaths? Use the left arm to help lift you up. That's it. And then extend your right heel away, your left toes facing towards the side wall. Check your stance, see if you can get that line. Yes, everyone's got their line. And Now, with the left arm stretching towards the sidewall, as far as you can go, and then take your hand down towards the ankle. Bring the hand on the hip if you need to. That's it. Just wherever your hand goes, that's fine. Keep using the breath. Breathing into the nose and out the nose. Really try to revolve this navel up. Use the feet, lift the kneecaps. Two more breaths. Remember, don't be in a hurry to those last two breaths, have them even. And then with this right arm, bring yourself up, and then feet towards the front, and then jump the feet together. Coming into Tadasana. So the next pose, if you've got blocks for those at home, we're going to be using blocks. If you don't have blocks, then there's two parts to this movement. So we're going to be doing Parsvottanasana. So again, we start the same way. We're going to turn all the way to the side of the mat, extend the heel down, the back heel down. We're going to put the hands on the hips to start with, and then lifting the chest up, sternum up, looking up, pressing both feet into the floor. That's going to give you balance. Use the hips, use your hands and the hips as also as balance as you descend this tailbone down, and then coming forward. If you don't have blocks and you don't have the ability to get your hands down towards the floor, keep your hands here, all the while lifting the sternum up towards the ceiling. We're having a concave back. For those that do have blocks, press the hands into the blocks so you can get this length from the pubic bone all the way up towards the sternum. And then to come up, same way as went down, hands on the hips, press the feet into the floor, and then come up. Parsvottanasana. So, we might have to just step this one through because we've got the blocks in the way. So turning, we're all going to face the same way. Turn to the right, that's it. So have your heel. Again, it's a little bit shorter stance than the last time. So looking forward this way, hands on the hips, smiling, enjoying, and then bring this right hip back. The right hip back towards the wall behind you. That's it. So we're now using this balance with the feet, pressing into the floor. We're going to be able to lift up. I want you to have a look up towards the ceiling. But to do that, lift the sternum. Bring the shoulder blades back onto the body. Looking up, and then from that position, going forward. And then if you can take your hands down towards the blocks. And if you can't reach the blocks here, you can bring them up onto the vertical. Just to here, just so you can press those palms down. You want to have the hips even. So you have the right hip is bringing this back. Right hip back towards the wall behind you. So this left inner leg really firm. The left inner leg is really what's going to help you there, and then that way you have this straightness of spine. And then bring this concave of the spine by lifting the sternum up towards the ceiling. That's the other way. That's the way. So this way here. Imagine you had a dorsal fin. This is the area where I want you to take in and then lift the sternum up, looking up. That's it. Okay, and to come up, bring the hands onto the hips, and then coming up. And to turn to the side, come through the middle. Yes, and then to the side. Again, short stance, you'll have to take your blocks with you. Okay, so it's the left foot out the front, Extend that back heel away. Lift the chest, lift the sternum, shoulder blades back and in towards the body. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, folding forward. Don't have the blocks, staying here. Extending all the way from the pubic bone up towards you with the whole length, the front spine. If you can, take your hands down towards the blocks. Really bringing this left side waist back. As you press the feet into the floor, it's the whole leg, the feet are your base here. So you have to press it really into that back right heel, all the way up, so lifting the inner leg, both legs, particularly this left side waist moving back. Keep bringing this dorsal spine in. Keeping both sides of the torso long. Got a cramp?
Oh no, it's just this leg is tight.
Okay, so give yourself that space by this right hip, yes, left hip drawing back. You want to have this, yeah.
It's pulling quite
Okay, okay, so maybe backing off. You can, having that bent leg is fine, to have it a little bit bent. Get working on having this drawing back. Okay, and then inhale, hands over hips coming up, and then back towards the centre. Okay, and then to be able to have a, shake it out, Uttanasana is always a really good one for a resting pose. So having the feet, let's have the feet at hip width, and then folding forward from the hips, resting. And if this is too much of a struggle, bend the knees. Otherwise, having straight legs, the kneecaps lifted, and then just letting yourself hang, Uttanasana. Neck is released. Eyes can be closed. Nothing better than a resting pose to be able to help you gather your breath, but also just to relax and to restore. So if you need to bend your knees, just so that you're not hyperflexing, have your toes so that they're even. So you bring them in line. So you want to bring this right one up. Yeah, that's it. And then you really fold forward. So if you need to, so rather than hyperextending, have the tiniest little bit of a bend in the knee so that you can learn to be able to have your ability to be able to hang from the hips here, rather than expressing back. And there's nothing, we don't really want to hyperextend. It's no good for our bodies. So you can practice this on the wall. For those at home, you can see me using the wall here, being able to have this ability to be able to use the wall to support you. Okay, and then to come up, bend the knees, and come up. Okay, so time for some floor work. So we'll start with a blanket, a small folded blanket, and then coming into Dandasana. So we're having the sit bones supported, big toes touching, extending the feet away, having the hands by the sides. If you need more, height, please do so, have height. I think having a bolster, Melissa, might help. If that's too high, let me know. Just so that helps with that leg. Yes? Yep. Okay. So in Dandasana, it's like Tadasana, but on the floor. So that we have to start with having the big toes touching, the heels touching, extend the feet away. Imagine as if you have a block, which I'm doing here with Melisinka. Even you can practice this to the wall. So you really want to be able to have the feet evenly pressing in space. So if you have to use the wall or go to a class and get your teacher to get you a block, I have an imaginary block here. And now we want to use the hands to be able to help support the torso. So you use your, if you can, have a cupping ability, maybe with the bolster, bring your hands further forward. There, that's it now. I'm going to let go of the block. You keep imagining it's still there. And here, maybe bending the elbows. That's it. So that you can use your hands to help you lift this sternum up. Yeah. So again, all the way from the navel up, sorry, from the pubic bone all the way up to the top of the sternum, having that front spine opening. The torso is basically wanting to be lengthened as much as possible. So how do we get this length? Imagine as if you've got some weight down on the top of your thighs, so that you're lifting up from that space and having the, does that make sense? So we've got this kind of pressure here, and then having, again, as if in Tadasana, having this navel back towards the spine, and then come forward a little bit. Bring the hands more by the sides, and then lift the crest of the hips up, and then just looking forward. And imagine you've got this a string onto the crown of your head, so it's lifting you up. And then releasing. It can be a bit of work, Dandasana. It seems quite simple, but again, like Tadasana, we can use it as a way to be able to check what's going on in the body, and if you need to, yeah, back off, like what Melisinka's done, come into cross legs. But the next thing we're going to be moving into now is we're going to go into Urdhva in Dandasana. So again, we'll have to have the hands supported by the side here, and then inhale, raise the arms up. So we have to really, if you've got neck problems, come further forward with the arms out in front, so you can release the shoulders down and the shoulder blades back down onto the body. Don't want to have any, have a neck to be able to have freedom. Extend those fingers, keep extending out through the heels. Imagine separating all the toes. The toes can all freely move. Again, kneecaps lifted, tops of the thighs pressing down, lifting all the way up. Keep breathing into the nose, out through the nose. And then releasing. Okay, so this is where if you cannot touch your toes, you may need a belt. So if you don't know, have it handy anyway. So we'll use this to basically get ourselves in preparation for forward bends. So what we're going to do is have our feet, and this is a good way to be able to get that some feedback with the feet to get these soles of the feet open, using the belt around the edge. Everybody, if you've got, let's have a go of the belt. Come up, sit up nice and tall. That's it. And then just gradually move the hands down the belt, coming forward with a straight spine as much as possible, and then catch the toes. Wherever you feel like you're losing, the straightness of the spine, just stay there. Stay here. We want to be able to move, so we're moving all the way down to Paschimottanasana. But rather than overdo it, it's best to just stay up. Sit up tall, and learn to get the legs working. The legs are what's going to be able to move you to move forward. So keep the belt. And then think about bringing this area in. Yeah, dorsal spine in. Opening up the collarbones. Breathing in through the nose now, through the nose. And then releasing. So, Paschimottanasana is that in the next preparation for going forward. I think we're all best just to stay at this point where we were before when it was without having, with using the belt. So, I think one more time that we try it, but this time when we go with, for Paschimottanasana, when we go forward, imagine taking the crown of the head towards the toes. So this time, really think about, it's like the back is really up towards the ceiling and the crown of the head towards the side wall. So as much as possible, pressing the tops of the thighs down. One more time. Just thinking if you can, if you've got your blocks handy. Yeah, if you've got your blocks handy, which you've done, I can come around, have the head rested. That's it. Keep going. I'm going to No? Yeah, that's fine. That's all right. If we can rest one's head, this is a really good way to relax. It's a great way to relax. I'm going to find a way though to be able to manage the block. Yeah. So again, this is keep working the breath evenly into the nose, now to the nose. Think of this dorsal spine moving in, into the body. That's it. Staying in the spine. And then to come out, come up, and then sitting back into Dandasana. Okay, so to finish off, we're into Shavasana. So Shavasana is referred to as the corpse pose. And to use the blanket that we had, and if you don't have a blanket, you get a little pillow of some description. So what we want to do is be able to have just the head supported. Have the knees bent to start with, just to get your alignment. And then extend one leg out and let it go. That's the side. Then sit the other leg out and let it go. That's the side. And imagine giving yourself a hug. So as you're giving yourself a hug, just letting the shoulder blades separate. And then let the arms fall out to the side. You can adjust your neck a little bit too, just by lifting the back of the head up and then just placing the head back down onto the blanket or the pillow, so you've got that length of the neck. So the palms are Eyes are closed. Let the whole body relax. Imagine yourself being completely supported by the floor. You don't have to do anything here. It's all about letting go. Focus your attention on the exhale. So on each exhale, you can let go even further into the floor. Imagine your whole body breathing in. Feet, legs, torso, the arms, the head. The whole body is breathing in and breathing out. So you're distributing the breath all throughout the body. Having this attention allows us to expand our consciousness. We expand our consciousness with the physical body, then we can move to the other layers beyond. Imagine your body is kind of like a complete dead weight. Let it go. Imagine the right side of your body, all the right leg, the right side of the torso, the right arm, the right side of the head. Breathing in. I want you to shift your attention to the left side. The left side is now breathing in, breathing out. Bring your attention back to both sides. Whole body breathing in and breathing out. Each exhale, letting go. So you let go of all tension. Anything that's niggling, take your breath to that point. Make sure the tongue is rested by having the tip of the tongue to grip the palate. The eyeballs sinking back in the sockets. Jaw soft. Front brains resting on the back brain. 30 more seconds to really see how far you can let go. How much more can you let go? Now turn your attention towards the inhale. Bring life towards the fingers and the toes, give them a wiggle. Keep your focus now on the inhale. And the next inhalation, take the arms up overhead, nice and relaxed. Bend the right knee, and then roll over to the right side. Stay there for a breath. Roll face down, stay there for a breath. And then come back into corpse pose, child's pose rather. Hands down by the sides. The head is rested. And then bring your hands in front of the knees. And then pressing the palms into the floor as you raise the torso up. Coming up. Hands into Namaskarasana. Namaste. Namaste. Namaste.